It's all aboard Royal Princess, one of the world's largest luxury cruise ships.
I've been on one that big before.
As crew and passengers set sail around the Mediterranean.
I love a good adventure.
With cruising more popular than ever and a choice of over 130 competing cruise ships,
we like to have a certain element of class.
being second best is not an option.
How many whales will there be outside the ship, and what side will they be on today?
With 4,000 passengers all expecting 5-star service,
No pressure.
the crew of 1,400 must cope when the unexpected happens.
It's a train smash, but this is what happens on ships, you know? It's very unpredictable.
This time,
Truffle oil, where's it?
with 2 weddings on the same day, Chef David has to pull out all the stops.
I'm running left, right, up and down all day today.
Captain Nick struggles with getting the groom's name right.
Martin Cochran and Cochran.
A lifeboat needs fixing and they're up against the clock.
It is essential to run the ship. We can't leave the port without it.
And Timothy's timekeeping could get him into trouble.
I don't like warnings. Yes, I have a problem with that.
Royal Princess is in Barcelona, Europe's busiest cruise ship terminal, with 2.7 million passengers passing through here every year. Today is the busy turnaround day when 4,000 new guests come aboard. And it's not just passengers. On the dockside, 120 tons of food and beverages have to be loaded in just 5 hours. Executive Chef David personally checks it's all up to scratch.
This I will use very quickly in the buffet, no problem.
But loading the right amount of fresh food is as much an art as it is a science. And today it's become clear they've over-ordered on one fruit, tomatoes.
One cruise can be extremely busy and they can munch. And the next cruise, they don't eat as much. So then it's almost like a fluctuation kind of game that we play. Tomatoes, these are Italian, these are beautiful, man. These are vine tomatoes, they're great. Tomato, beefsteak tomato, tomato. If you look at them now, they're starting to spoil. If I don't use them, what happens now, if you leave them in the box, the whole box starts to go. And if the whole box starts to go, it starts to rot on the next box.
Chef David doesn't like to see food go to waste. So his challenge now is to get passengers loving everything tomato.
Listen to me, come with me. I want to show you stuff that you are avoiding like the plague. For breakfast in the Horizon Court, you can do grilled tomato, half grilled tomato.
Yes, chef.
Okay, I'm going to stop all the orders of canned and they've got to use fresh. I know they don't like it because it means that they've got to cook the tomato. They've got to work and cook the tomato, blend it up, blitz it up, cook it down or render it down to get rid of all the liquid. But it's what we've got to do. It's what we've got to do.
They'll have to find versatile ways to cook 1,600 kilos of fresh tomatoes over the next 48 hours. Up on the bridge, it's all change. Joining Royal Princess for a 3-month tour of duty is Captain Nick Nash from Cornwall.
OK, so we can expect this about 20 knots there on the turn.
15 years a captain, today he has windy weather in his sights.
We've had very smooth cruising for the last 2 weeks. So very little sea, very little wind. But tonight and tomorrow we are going to get a bit of bad weather. Nothing major, but the ship's going to move a little bit more than they're used to.
It's not the only thing on the captain's plate this morning.
Good morning, Captain. Sorry to bother you. This is Staff Engineer Gaetano speaking. We have got a problem with the Lifeboat 15.
Gaetano's spotted an oil leak on the lifeboat's winch mechanism.
All lifeboat on board needs to be operational and fully working conditions all the time. There is no exemption to that. These will have to be replaced entirely. Lift this up.
The leaky winch has got to be fixed while they're docked in Barcelona.
It is essential to run the ship and we can't leave the port without it. So that will be a big problem if we don't fix this in time before departure.
By law, the lifeboat has to be back in service before they go to sea again. If they're to keep the cruise on schedule, it's vital Gaetano fixes the oil leak quickly.
So the part has just been removed. The oil leak was coming from here. You can't get these parts anywhere unless you have it on board or you order it months and months in advance.
In an emergency, it's essential each lifeboat holds 235 people. So for Gaetano, it is paramount they're kept in tip-top condition.
I do always feel the weight on my shoulders because this is one of the top jobs on board. We talk about life-saving appliances, so we need really to get it right. Okay, let's rock and roll.
While Gaetano works against the clock, Chef David has his own time pressures. With new supplies arrived this morning, he now has 5,000 kilos of fresh tomatoes to use quickly before they spoil. He calls a meeting of his chefs to tell them his plan.
You are not permitted to order tomato pilate in cans, okay? You make it fresh. Pizza, you make it fresh. Tomatoes every day in the crew galley. Every lunch, every breakfast, every dinner. Grilled tomatoes, baked tomatoes. Tomato trifle, tomato bruschetta, tomato upside down cake.
Yes, I'm getting it.
You know chef want tomato, 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 yeah!
As the chefs go into tomato overdrive in the galley, above decks, there's one passenger who the crew are planning to go the extra mile for. Penny from Felixstowe lost her husband 6 months ago.
This picture was taken at my son's wedding. Joe, his name was, and he was 70 years of age.
Joe was in the Navy as a young man and had worked in the docks for 30 years.
We've always loved the water, and I thought, well, I needed to come on holiday by myself to show that I could do it, just the once. And I thought, well, we'll take him on holiday with me and scatter his ashes, because that's what he would have wanted. And that's what we both wanted.
Scattering ashes at sea is a growing trend, but it must be done 12 miles offshore and using a biodegradable box. Penny's hoping she gets the go-ahead during the sea day tomorrow.
He wanted to see the world, and now the world won't see him, but he will see the world. His spirit is already out there, you know, but I'll just set him free.
But although Penny's hopeful she'll be allowed to fulfill Joe's wishes tomorrow, the ship won't be going anywhere unless Gaetano can get Lifeboat 15 back in service. The spare part on the leaking winch is in place, but now it's the critical stage, testing.
All released. So now we're swinging out the boat, and we will test the brake by letting go the boat down and then stopping it suddenly, just to give it a full test and making sure the boat stops when it's supposed to stop. Lower down, slowly. Faster. Let go. Excellent, I'm very happy. Test completed. We can secure the boat. Very good, I'm very happy. No more leakage. We're happy to bring back the boat in service.
All fixed, just in the nick of time. And the ship can leave Barcelona on schedule.
Feel much better now.
But the weather is something Captain Nick can't control and warns his passengers there are some choppy waves ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Captain Nick Nash up here on the bridge. So first of all, one or two things.
The weather is going to change. We can expect some strong winds and fairly rough seas. So using the words of the immortal Betty Davis, fasten your seatbelt, boys, it's going to be a bumpy night.
It's a windy, choppy day out at sea for Royal Princess, with gusts of 29 miles an hour and swimming pools closed on the top deck. Inside, while his team are trying to use up the excess tomatoes, Chef David is on a secret mission, going undercover in a passenger cabin. Room service is free, but he wants to make sure it matches his guests' expectations of quality.
Hello, good morning. I wonder if it's possible that I could order room service breakfast. I'd like to order one omelette, please. The filling would be tomato, mushroom, onion, and cheese. What we're after here is quality control. Thank you. Sliced orange fresh fruits and 1 plate melon in season. For me, it's important to do it myself because then I see what is going on there. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Well, let's see what happens. They say 25 minutes. I've got my doubts on that.
While Chef David waits,
We got some sea life up ahead. Some mermaids, huh? Okay, some dolphins, all right.
on the bridge, Captain Nick is taking stock of the windy conditions.
The ship is starting to pitch a little bit and occasionally vibrate as we hit the swells. But she's a good bow and she's riding quite nicely, actually. It's a beautiful day out here otherwise, nice blue sky. As my grandmother said, there's enough blue sky up there to make a sailor's pair of trousers.
Today's choppy sea is bad news, though, for one reluctant sailor, Charlotte from Blackpool.
I'm absolutely petrified of the sea. It really, really frightens me, especially when that I can feel the ship swaying from side to side. On a ship, I think the lower you go, the better, because it's nearest to the sea. The higher you go, the more you can feel the ship tilt. So on deck 5, you're very close to the sea and you just centralise the middle of the ship.
Tomorrow, Charlotte and her family will be back on dry land. They're being taken on an excursion to a vineyard by Timothy.
This is the highlight of my day. I love doing tickets. Right?
Being at sea all day brings a tricky question for Timothy's colleague, Estefania.
What did the passenger ask you that was just here?
This lady came to me to say she wanted us to check with the captain if it's possible to stop the ship. So she could have about 20 to 30 minutes swim in the ocean.
What was your response?
I told her, I don't think I'm getting your question. I'm sorry, I'm not
My English is my second language.
Back on deck 10, the room service order that Chef David secretly made is making its way to where he is lying in wait.
Oh, yeah. I hear something coming. Very good, that's not bad. Eh? Let's have a look what we get. Okay. Ah, good morning. How are you?
Good, thank you.
I want you to bring it inside for me. There you go. Okay. Thank you very much for your time, eh? Bye. Let me just say, first impressions, it looks exactly like it should. We ordered an omelette. We just want to dissect that. That's not a bad omelette for room service, actually. It's warm. It's actually hot. We ordered sliced orange, and we ordered melon in season. They asked if I wanted tea and what flavor tea. I said English breakfast. English breakfast is there. They've done a great job. I'm happy with that. I'm over the moon with that.
Outside, with high winds, it falls to Rookie Third Officer Josh to warn passengers.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be careful when moving around the ship today, as we are experiencing some movement on the vessel due to strong winds. On behalf of the entire bridge team, I would like to wish you all an enjoyable and relaxing afternoon at sea on board the beautiful Royal Princess. Thank you. Oh, nearly lost my words at the end.
Despite the winds, Penny's been given the go-ahead to scatter her husband's ashes.
It's quite heavy. I didn't realise he weighed that much.
Customer Relations Manager Ina is taking Penny to a secluded deck she's reserved specially for her.
It's all for you.
That's
nice
very
and empty.
kind.
It's good that we have a spot like that because it does make a difference.
The captain has altered the course of the ship to be the required 12 miles offshore.
He would be absolutely amazed by that, to think that the captain had made a detour for him. Yeah, he would have been over the moon.
As the winds start to ease off, Penny prepares to say her last farewell to Joe.
Goodbye, Joe. I love you. I'll never forget you. I know you got to fly away free to the sea. Bye-bye. Love you.
This
speed is 21 knots. We have negligible current and required is 17.4, 5 minutes ahead of schedule, and reducing speed accordingly.
Okay, starting to reduce speed. We're 21 and we've got 5 minutes in our pocket.
Yes.
Okay. Heading
As the weather returns to calm once more, Royal Princess is guided into the port of Naples.
4.5, we're starting to swing bow to port.
While the ship is docked today, down in the engine room, there's an important cleaning job to be done. And it means Gaetano shutting off a crucial valve in the ship's system for making fresh water on board.
We have only one valve. This blue one is a valve between the sea and the ship. So if that is leaking or something goes wrong while we're doing the job, we can potentially flood the ship.
To ensure that doesn't happen, watertight doors seal off the area. As senior first engineer Vladimir oversees dismantling the ship's huge sea chest filters.
Down, down.
These filter the seawater before it's desalinated on board into fresh water.
In order to have it clean water inside, we have to filtrate first here. This is like a pre-filter. If this gets blocked, a lot of systems will suffer, like AC unit. We will not be able to produce the water, and cooling for the engine as well.
The sea chests collect a lot of debris.
You can see some plastic, grass, algae.
It's a monthly chore that never gets any easier.
Johnny, yeah, a little bit more there.
But the filter is the vital first step for the ship processing 3 Olympic-sized swimming pools of fresh water every day. With Vladimir in the grime below decks, upstairs, Gaetano has changed into his best officer whites. Naples is his hometown, and his wife Julia is seizing the chance to visit him, bringing with her his 3-month-old son Valerio.
I don't get to see them every day, and I've just seen my kid born, and then after about 2 weeks I was back on board, so it's a fantastic thing to be able to see them now. I can see them through the window. It's already exciting. Hello. Ciao, hey boy. How are you? Papa is here. Daddy's here. Woohoo. Oh, see how tight he's holding the hand?
While Gaetano gets to grips with his baby boy, Timothy has already left the ship to learn about the vineyard excursion near Mount Vesuvius.
Just takes a little bit of vino.
The name that we have chosen for this white Lacrima Christi is Gianesta.
He's with Charlotte and her family from Blackpool and gets the perk of tasting the wines with them.
I know quite a bit about wine. Like I've gone to many wine tastings in different vineyards around the world, so I've got an idea.
It's fruity, kind of like blackberries.
This wine is a very, very good match with spaghetti.
The vineyard tour is one of 11 excursions in Naples that Timothy is expected to be knowledgeable about.
I have passengers that maybe they're really into wine, and now I can just help them out with that.
So we're just gonna check out the legs, and then just have a taste, and then kind of go like that.
That's strong. Very strong.
With Timothy in his element, back on board, Chef David is still battling to get rid of his glut of fresh tomatoes.
Fighting out the blue corner.
It's time for his daily tasting of all his chef's dishes.
So, smoked chicken breast with pepper coulis with tomato. Surprise, surprise. Cold gazpacho with tomato. Spinach quiche with tomato. Very good. Who said tomato? Who said tomato? Hold your hand. Tomato. The only person who hasn't done anything is a pastry chef, and we're very disappointed. You could have had tomato ice cream. You could have had tomato strudel.
With tomatoes for tea to look forward to,
Okay, let me know as soon as you're clear.
Captain Nick on the bridge can't leave Naples until the sea chest filters have been put back together.
Let's go. Let's put it back.
But down in the engine room, Vladimir is feeling the pressure.
We are running out of time, I can see it. We have to sail and needs to be closed. Before sailing, needs to be closed. Less than an hour, 40 minutes. I don't know if we can make it. We have to.
But before the lid can go back on, it needs a good scrub too.
Okay, guys, good. Let's go.
With 40 bolts, everything has to be completely watertight again. The acid test is opening the valve, allowing seawater back in.
Hopefully, we will see.
Although the clock is ticking, it has to be filled slowly.
Hey, there is no leak. No leak. All good. Good job. Bravo. Good job. Number one. Okay. Bye. Okay, done.
With the all clear to sail now given,
13 metres right of track, steering 220, you've got the rudder setting.
Captain Nick commands Royal Princess out of Naples as the ship's cruise around the Mediterranean continues. Royal Princess is heading towards southern Spain, and Captain Nick Nash is starting his day with a tricky manoeuvre.
We're going into Cartagena, which is a lovely Spanish port. This is one of the more challenging ports because it's tight and windy. So for us, it's quite a wiggle coming in.
Cartagena port has breakwaters on either side, barriers that protect it from the waves, but they give big ships a navigational challenge.
Everybody happy with the plan there?
Captain Nick has to choose the exact moment to slalom around the barriers, aiming to keep a safe 30 metres from them.
Executed a turn to starboard. Rudders on.
Looking good, Captain. We are just going to the right position.
After a wriggly start to the day,
Jerry?
in his crew cabin, shore excursion agent Timothy is having a bad hair day with his job of selling tours to passengers.
I'm just calling my manager, because I might be late for work this morning. Uh-oh. So, do you know how hard it is to get ready in the morning on a ship? It's either the mirror that's bouncing around, or you're in the shower and you're being smashed from side to side. It's ridiculous.
The ship has a strict timekeeping culture.
Just 3?
And with a performance review with his manager tomorrow, will Timothy's punctuality cause problems?
There you go, no problem. I don't like mornings. But when I'm there, I'm present and I'm fun and outgoing. So I'm hoping that they will focus more on that, but we'll see.
Also tomorrow, the ship unusually has 2 weddings on one day. The job of marshalling the galley, beauticians, the florist and others involved falls to passenger services manager Ina.
It's always something special when you have a wedding. I'm always nervous. Nothing ever has gone wrong and nothing will go wrong, but I just, yeah, it's a big responsibility.
Couple 1 is Rochelle and Martin from New Zealand.
The important thing is that we get married and we have a fun day, and we just decided, you know what, let's just sail away.
Couple 2 is Fiona and Conrad from the UK.
They've got it all sorted out, so they tell us where we're going to be, they lead us by the hand and make sure we're in the right place, and we don't have to worry about anything, so it's really stress-free.
But it's not stress-free in the galley. Chef David and Chief Pastry Chef Hernan have 2 wedding parties with exacting requests to cater for.
You could almost compare it to plastering, plastering a wall. I don't think people really understand and appreciate the artistry that goes into creating something like this.
With the average cost of a UK wedding being £34,000, a cruise ship wedding package can be as little as £2,500. And 18 couples tied the knot in the Med this season.
You know, if you take the responsibility of an important day like this, and you don't live up to the expectations of the bride and the groom or the people that are paying for it, obviously you're going to be in trouble. And that's the last thing I want, you know what I mean?
On top of the 690 floral displays he makes each week, the wedding flowers are all down to the ship's florist, Jess.
This is a one-time shot, so I know they want it to be perfect, so I always try also to be perfect with the flowers that I make so that I don't receive any complaints after the day. I'm praying that they're going to like what I give them because there's no time already to prepare a new one.
With the pressure on Jess to make 8 bouquets,
Buenas tardes.
Timothy's ashore, escorting 30 passengers on an excursion in Cartagena.
She's a bit bumpy, yeah.
He's visiting a 19th century mineral mine on a 4-hour tour and trying to pick up a bit of Spanish. And the penny is dropping that it's a hard hat area.
Oh no. Do you think it'll wreck?
Yeah.
It will. A bat protector. A murciélagos protector, which is a bat.
What language?
Spanish. Murciélagos.
Murciélago.
Murciélagos.
Look how shine when I like it. It's for that the pyrite is so well known as the fool's gold.
Today I'm an escort, so I'm just hanging out at the back and just kind of count them, you know, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I might lose a couple because we are in a bat cave, so if I see a bat, I'm going to be running out of this cave. I can't handle it.
Timothy's hoping his newfound language prowess will come up tomorrow in his performance review. He can now at least pass on to passengers the Spanish word for bat.
Murciélago. It rolls right off the tongue. Murciélago. Ow!
Your ticket is cancelled, all right?
Murciélago. Hello.
Cartagena Port Control, Royal Princess, Channel 1-2.
Good evening, everyone. Captain on the bridge. Well, hopefully you enjoyed the day in Cartagena here. Certainly a beautiful port there.
A little bit cooler with that northeasterly breeze. You're all back on board nice and early, so that's
On the bridge, rookie 3rd Officer Josh is now on the busy 4 to 8 watch, the shift with the most port arrivals and departures.
Well clear port side.
Now is the time to say if you any concerns or worries, or you think you're up to it.
I've had a couple of months of training on the previous watches, so feeling a little bit anxious as always.
If you were too confident, then I'd be worried, but you've got that little bit of doubt, which is great. Doubt is the beacon of the wise. So
Yes,
if you've got a little bit of doubt in there, you can grab onto a little beacon in the distance there, which says, possibly I need to say something about it, and that's good.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
As Josh tries to conquer his nerves, up on the Lido deck, production crew member Erin has a problem with the synchronized fountain display.
It's a really cool show. Like, it's really fun because it's like at the end there's like a massive, massive jet of water, but we're not getting there.
The display is supposed to build to a 10-meter high jet finale, with water fed from a 12-ton tank underneath.
Whenever we get to a certain point of the show, there's not enough water in the tanks, so the show stops and we can't continue with the show.
If the tank doesn't refill in time, Erin will have to stop the show early and hope that no one notices.
It's at the critical point at the moment. It's at 5%, and the alarm trigger's at 3%.
It's washout time.
And that's how you avoid the awkward. Okay. I think passengers can tell because it just finishes in the middle of the song, like not at the end. And like you'd expect it like at the end of a show to be like a big finish, but it's just like teeters off just a little bit, unfortunately.
It's a job for Mr. Fix-It, hotel services engineer Keith, to solve why the tanks are running out of water. The fountain pump room is where computing meets plumbing.
It's made to be on the shore side, so when the ship moves a bit, I think we'll get inherent problems.
The problem could lie in the complex electronics. But with the ship using 1.2 million litres of fresh water a day, Keith's not yet ruling out the water pipes.
This is the return water valves. These two big ones over here. The return of water is done by gravity. So maybe we've got a bit of a restriction. But to take them out is a few days' work.
Keith's hoping he can come up with a simpler solution. Meanwhile, with tomorrow's 2 weddings looming, Captain Nick has one detail he wants to perfect, as he'll be marrying the couples.
We got the name right, which is always important. But it's a very useful website, that, how to pronounce. And mainly make sure it's in English as well. So, Cargill.
All departments are on the lookout for the slightest imperfections.
Can you fix this? Take it out. If it's good enough for me, then I'm happy, you know? But I'm not going to send it out like that. It needs to be done properly. We'll take it out. Oh.
And tomorrow, everyone has to be on their A game. Today is double wedding day. And with Royal Princess at sea all day, Captain Nick gives a big vote of confidence to Junior Officer Josh.
Yes, sir. Happy with everything?
110.
Change your code now.
Change your co-navigator. Josh is the co-navigator.
Yes.
Captain still has charge. We can set yellow manning on the bridge.
Yellow man.
Yellow manning means the bridge is crewed by just 3 officers. And as co-navigator, Josh is now trusted to sit in the captain's position.
This is the chair, the main chair. The person essentially in charge of the engine and the helm, navigating the ship. It gives me a good buzz each time I sit here. The novelty doesn't wear off. So all the alarms are on now. I've taken the Ectus alerts on visual, off visual.
With Josh maintaining a steady course, it's D-Day for Chef David and the pressure is on.
That's exactly what you're looking for, you see. I'm running left, right, up and down all day today. Because it's a sea day, first of all. You know, it's nearly 5,500 people that I'm cooking for today. Hey, I've got weddings, 2 weddings going on today as well.
So we've got wedding cake number 1, vanilla sponge.
It's my menu, and it's my reputation on the line. So I want to do it myself. Yeah, thank you very much. Why were you late?
In the spa, Fiona is being pampered.
Do you like it? I love it. Me too. Thanks.
You're
I
very
love
clever.
your hair. Oh, thank you.
But with Rochelle, it's Ina, the wedding coordinator, who's having the jitters.
I'm so nervous already today.
Don't be nervous, be excited.
Should be the other way around. I should calm you down, not you me. Enjoy yourself. See you later. Thank you.
Ina pops down to deck 4 to check on how Jess the florist is getting on.
Hello, good morning, Jess. How are you?
First wedding done.
This is for the first one? Oh, beautiful. Look how pretty. Very nice. And I just checked up on the bride as well, so she's getting her hair done. So she's very excited about the flowers. And I told her as well that we're going to come and pick her up later together so that you can give her the flowers.
It's a busy day for Captain Nick, officiating at 2 weddings and this evening's formal night party.
So we get into our play suit now. As my steward said this morning, today's a 3 costume day. Whites, blues, and then mess kit this evening.
Captain Nick's uniforms are based on 18th century Navy traditions, including a cap tipped with gold leaf.
And the hat, which I only use for weddings, sackings, and a crew round.
Before the weddings, Timothy is hoping to impress his boss, Jerry, in his performance review.
Hola. Hola.
How are you?
But will his timekeeping be his downfall?
Not really nervous.
No?
Well, maybe a little.
Why? So I want to start first with what I feel are your strengths.
Okay.
You're very friendly.
Yeah.
Super positive energy, always.
Okay.
I have one thing where I can think you still can improve. Do you want to give a random guess of what do you think you can improve?
Well, it's punctuality. But if I have to extend the time that I'm at work, so this is my positive part about it, that I will always stay if I have to. But yes, I have a problem with that.
Definitely something that can be improved, and that's something that, yeah, like we kind of ask.
first wedding is due to start in 15 minutes.
Just make sure I've got the right wedding, the right name and the right position.
As Captain Nick heads to the chapel on deck 14.
As I'm English, I'm particularly bad at pronunciation, so I have to have it written down or put it in phonetics. Martin.
How are you?
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Martin John Coghlan.
Coughlin.
As Rochelle and her mum get ready, Ina heads to escort them to the chapel.
It's going to be great. Let's go.
It's time for Jess to hand over his flowers.
Hello. Hello. We're here.
Here's
Wow, look at that. Thanks, Jess.
You like it?
Yeah, it's lovely. Oh my goodness.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Martin John Cochran and
Coghlan.
Coghlan. Please just give me Coch.
No. No, L-A-N?
Coghlan, okay,
Yeah.
that was better.
That one there.
Okay, good. So we're just waiting for Rochelle now, so she should be on her way up, hopefully. But she can't run away, that's a good thing.
But Rochelle is still in her room, applying some final touches of glitter.
I think she's keeping me waiting, isn't she? A couple of extra minutes.
Let's go get married.
Yes, that's the right spirit. I'm sure your groom is very anxious right now, very excited to see you.
Waiting a bit.
Bride number 1 is delivered to the chapel almost on time.
And if you turn to face me and hold
But
both
will
hands.
Captain Nick get the name right?
You are Martin John Coghlan. Correct. And you are Rochelle Payrack. Martin,
Martin,
with this ring,
with this ring,
I thee wed.
I thee wed.
I now pronounce you husband and wife. Congratulations. So that's one down, the second one to go. We've got the names right, which is always the worry.
Jess is already delivering flowers to bride number 2, Fiona.
Hello.
Here you go.
Oh, those are
Do you
really
like
nice.
it?
Yes, very much so. That's really pretty.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Another satisfied customer for Jess. As Conrad and guests wait in the chapel.
Well, Dad, if you'd like to move closer to me, then the girls can get past, then you go back.
Ready to go? Are you nervous? Excited?
No, we're pretty chilled actually.
Everything was relaxed, easy? Fantastic.
As the master of the royal princess and the legal power vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Congratulations. Now kiss your bride.
With the second couple of the day married, Ina can breathe a sigh of relief.
All right, everybody happy? Everybody smiling? Captain happy? Everybody happy? Very good.
As the wedding parties head for the receptions, up on the Lido deck, weddings are far from Keith's mind. He's following his hunch of what's wrong with the fountains.
It's clean.
He thinks it's rubbish.
Right, we'll take one off on the other side.
Rubbish in the drains might be restricting the flow of water back to the tank.
Clean again.
But just when he's doubting himself...
Aha! Lots of rubbish. In fact, there's rubbish in all of them. The big problem we have is they use this for sunbathing. So there's straws, chewing gum, it gets washed down here, and as you can see, that's the main drain, so if the water's not coming back, it could be one of our problems.
After nearly an hour cleaning out the drains, it's time for Keith to put his theory to the test.
So what we're going to do now is run a show and just see how it works.
But will it reach the big climax? It's looking like Keith's hunch has paid off.
The test went good. We done 3 straight off, which you don't normally do, and it hung in there with about 15–20% left in the tank, which is more than enough. I'm happy with that.
For now, Keith's feeling flushed with success.
Till the next time. Till the next time.
I would just like to propose a toast to the newly married couple. Congratulations.
Meanwhile, Fiona and Conrad's wedding party has moved to Club 6 bar for a buffet.
Cheers.
And Martin, Rochelle and her mum have got the best table in Sabatini's restaurant. Over in the Galley, Chef David is personally making sure their meal is perfect.
What are you doing? You've got two hands. Let's go. Hello. Finish. Go the other side, Chef. Truffle oil. Truffle oil. Where's it?
Chef David's gourmet menu is served.
It is absolutely beautiful. It tastes divine. That's incredible. Wow, what a chef. Yeah, it's just all come together so well, and we know that there's been so much work behind the scenes.
Smile. It's so important to have the whole army of people around us helping with everything.
With the weddings a success, down in his cabin, Timothy is getting into his formal whites as the season draws to a close.
Tonight is formal night, and some of us from each department have to go and just kind of be present there, just talk to passengers, walk around. Some passengers get really dressed up and they look really good, so I mean, we have to put an effort too.
In the piazza, 600 passengers are gathering for a final celebration. And for Captain Nick, there's one last costume change of the day.
I've actually been fairly busy today and married 2 couples, so congratulations to that. And I always like to leave you with a misquote from Robbie Louis Stevenson, who said, "To travel is a much better thing than to arrive, but the true success is to have enjoyed." Bon voyage and have a great evening. Thank you.
With almost 200 bottles of house champagne quaffed and thousands of photographs taken, Royal Princess ends her Mediterranean summer season. Next stop is the Caribbean.